Okay, little example here, working with a quadratic. So we want to find the equation. We're given its vertex, and we also know a specific point that it goes through. So don't be intimidated by this. I like to think, kind of relate it to something you've done a lot of. What if they gave us a point and say the slope of a line? Well, you plug things into y equals mx plus b, and you figure out the equation of the line. Very similar. This just happens to be a quadratic. Well, what's our equation? So y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And of course we could do f of x. I'll just do a y here. So remember, hk is our vertex. So they told us what hk is. And what is this point? Well, that's a specific xy, isn't it? So let's plug things into this equation. Let's see where we're at. So my y value is -9. So -9 equals a. Oh, I don't know what a is. So let's just leave that as a variable. My x is 2 minus my h. Well, h is -2. So minus a minus, I'll go ahead and change that to a plus. And that's squared plus k, but k is -1, so -1. Well, notice now I've got a little algebra equation, and I know everything except for a, so we're going to solve this equation for a. Let's figure out what that is. So let's go ahead and we can add that 1 over to the other side. So if I add 1 over, I get -8 equals a times, well, let's see what we've got here. 2 plus 2, that's 4. Squared, so that's 16. And now to get a by itself, of course I'm going to divide my 16 over to the other side. And so a is -1/2, or you could write it as a decimal if you want, right? So however we want to write it. So let's put it together. Let's just write the equation. And so we could do y equals or f of x. I'll do f of x now because we've got the whole equation. So f of x equals -1/2 or -0.5, however you want to write it. X minus h, so it's going to be x plus 2 squared minus 1. So just plug my hk in there, and there is the equation. So plug in your hk, plug in your point, solve for a, and you've got the equation. Not too bad.